What kind of evidence do you see so far of hackers trying to interfere with the electoral process in Israel?
We haven't seen real evidence of hackers trying to change the election or interfere with election. We've definitely seen vulnerabilities in different systems of the different parties. The major party, the Likud, for example, had their website and database vulnerable to an attack when people can access every voter information and even change it. We helped them and they fixed it. The Labour Party has a challenge in their online mobile system when it actually accessed the user data and tried to build network of personal information that weren't intended to. So we are definitely seeing that the system is vulnerable to attacks.
And
one more thing maybe to mention.
Yeah. Go on.
And one more thing that did happen here in the election is that one of the major debates on the election was allegedly an attack on Mr. Gantz's former chief of staff of the army mobile phone, which has been used by both sides of the election to attack each other. And I think that also shows the vulnerability of our system when everything can be spied. And allegedly the Iranian took over his phone.
So you run a $20 billion software company that specializes in this sort of thing. What can you do? What can Check Point do to provide solutions for these problems?
I think every internet infrastructure, including the election, needs to be secured. People need to worry about using systems that are secured around the 5th generation of cyber attacks, so their system cannot be hacked. When we talk about mobile security, that I think is maybe the #1 vulnerability that we all have today. We all carry these phones. They can spy on us, and very few people, less than 1% of enterprises actually do something about that. And last and not least, all these systems today are cloud connected, and again, very little is done to secure these cloud systems today.
It's interesting you described there, Gil, the work you've been doing with one of the political parties about the mobile phone apps and where the vulnerabilities lie and trying to correct them. Is it your experience that political parties across the globe, I suppose, are not aware enough about cyber risks?
Political parties are not aware enough. Some of it is because they generally try to assemble on their infrastructure quite quickly. It's because they don't have IT department. They rely on, again, on third parties that are being brought to the task very quickly. And I think the level of security that we're seeing all over the world in political parties is quite low.